Hi everyone, in this Excel tutorial I'm going to quickly show you how to highlight Excel cells with formulas. Now to do this we're going to use the Go To dialog box, and then from there we're going to go to the Special Window dialog box and then ask it to select only formulas in our active Excel worksheet and highlight them in the process. Okay, now to demonstrate this I've got some sample data here. Some of these cells have formulas in them, which we'll see when we highlight them. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this via the keyboard, just because it's actually quite quick to do this method via the keyboard. Now, of course, you can do this via the mouse if you prefer. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is press F5. This brings up the Go To dialog box. Then you press on your keyboard Alt S. Then you select Alt F, and this will select all your formulas in the context of those which are numerical, text-based, logical, and errors. Then press Enter on your keyboard, and as you can see, this has highlighted some of the cells in our data. Now, these cells have formulas in them. Now, to highlight them via the keyboard, you then press Alt H, and this activates the Fill Color drop-down. You can then use your cursor keys on your keyboard to simply select whichever color you prefer. And then once you've got your color, simply press Enter. There. And as you can see, Excel has highlighted your Excel cells with formulas. And that's how you do it, folks. It's as simple as that. Now, one thing to remember, when you do use this feature, it will only highlight the cells in your active worksheet. Okay, so just quickly taking a look at these cells. Here we have some numbers. If I click into here, you can see that we have 5. There's no formula here, it's just simply been typed in. Then we have 5 here, and again, it's the same, it's simply been typed in. If we go to this highlighted cell, we can see we have the formula, which is sum of these two 5s here. So Excel correctly selected it. And if we go to the 10 below, you can see that's just been typed in. Hence, it was not selected. Now, in our special window dialog box, this would fall under the number part of the dialog box, which was ticked earlier already. Similarly, here, you can see that our Excel error of div 0 was selected. Now, this is basically 5 over 0, which, as you know, will produce an error because that's not possible. So again, referring back to the special window dialog box, in the formulas part, this was the bit that was ticked which said errors. With this part here, where we've got true, this was the logical part in that special window dialog box, which was pre-ticked under formulas. So in this case, this formula here was saying if 15 is greater than 10, then true, else false. So because that was ticked, that also got selected when we enabled the select formulas option and then pressed OK. And lastly, we've got hello world and hello world. This one got selected. And the reason being is because this simply references this one here. So it's a text-based formula. Okay, everyone. Now, this method can also be used to highlight Excel cells with formulas of a specific type. So let's say you only want to highlight formulas which have errors. You can do that with this technique, and it's real simple on the change that you have to do to get that result. So what I've done is, in addition to this formula here, which evaluates to an error, I've also added in 2 new formulas and altered them in a way that they both return errors as well. Right, so what we're going to do is only tell Excel to identify and highlight those formulas with those error messages. So in other words, this formula, and this formula will be identified and highlighted. So to do that, again, we're going to use the keyboard shortcuts. So I press F5. then Alt S, then Alt F. So this will get us to the formula bit in terms of what we're going to tell Excel to select. Now, currently, everything is ticked. Hence, what we did earlier, it brought back all the formulas of numerical, text, logical, and error evaluation type. Right. So simply, all we need to do is just untick numbers, text, and logicals and leave errors ticked. And then we press OK, and Excel will only identify and highlight those 3 formula cells which are returning error messages. Now, to do this via the keyboard, in terms of toggling numbers, text, and logicals off or untick, we simply use the relevant keyboard shortcut for it. So for numbers, that's Alt plus U. That will untick numbers. For text, it's Alt plus X. That will untick text. For logicals, it's Alt plus G. And that will untick logicals. Now, errors is Alt plus E, but we want to leave that in ticked, so we don't do anything to that one. And that's it, folks. That's the only change you need to do. Now, similarly, just as if we've unticked them, if you use the keyboard shortcuts again for the ones we've unticked, it will tick them back. Right. So once we've got it as we need it, we then press OK, i.e. press Enter. And as you can see, Excel is only highlighted those formulas which are returning to error messages. We can then use our final shortcut, Alt plus H, to then color them in any color we want. So in this case, I'm going to choose yellow. There. So as you can see, that's our final result of only having formulas which return error messages being highlighted. So you can use this method in your own work and adjust it accordingly to what type of formula type you want identified and highlighted, whether it's everything like we've demonstrated before, or whether it's just a certain type of formula you want returned. Okay, so that's how you do it, folks. That's how you quickly highlight Excel cells with formulas. Now, this is a real quick way to do it, folks, and can be used to really improve your productivity in your daily work routine. So that concludes this lecture. We have used Microsoft Excel for Microsoft 365 in this video, and we have demonstrated how we can use the Go To dialog box to access the special window dialog box, and from there select all formulas in our active worksheet. We have then seen how we can then highlight those cells using the fill color drop down, and this was all demonstrated via the keyboard. Now, if there are any questions or queries, please feel free to reach out. If you enjoyed watching this video, please consider subscribing to the channel, and thank you and have a great day. Cheers.